Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to review another chapter of One Piece, chapter 1030. Blimey, it's been a long way since we come, though. Granted, I don't think we could celebrate just yet until like the 1050th chapter, maybe even the 1100th as a big zero chapter again, but yeah. But blimey, it's been like 30 chapters since the 1000th chapter, so let's find out what we've got. But before we begin, let's see the chapter, which title is Echoing the Impermanence of All Things. We got a cover spread from a reader request of Brock kept being careful not to step on a line of army ants by the request of someone called eBay, and it's kind of like, it's not how big we see Brock is compared to the ants and all that stuff as they're marching with the little spears and soldier hats. Anyway, on to the chapter. Anyway, we're somewhere in something called the Cave Chamber, where someone is saying to probably Hawkins, which revealed that Appo has figured out that why did I say Hawkins? I mean, Appo seems to have noticed that X-Drake is some sort of marine spy, so he figured out what organization he's working for, but he doesn't really care, so he's making a deal on whether or not X-Drake wants to take a deal on whether or not he wants to take Kaido now or not, but says that they should do it. Why not wait until like both sides have took each other out first before and then we strike at the winner from death's door, as you will, because they'll be tired and all wound out, so easy picking for the both of them. Piece of cake, as he phrased it, as we see him relaxing in some sort of chamber, sitting behind them. The three remaining numbers, Imbi, Fuga, and Sankey, with Appo kind of pointing, but these three giants, if you will, these ancient giants, or failed ancient giants. It says, why not join us, because look at what we got and all that stuff. Given how they're not aligned with anyone here, since both him and Drake aren't really technically aligned with anyone here, so why not? So why should they waste their moments fighting each other? X-Drake says, like, why should I trust you, given everything you've done and all that stuff? Now, Appo says, like, yeah, let's not make an argument of who's more trustworthy, since, well, Drake was a spy, so. He's saying that, but he says that he's offering this alliance because he thinks it would benefit the both of them. As he'll never get an opportunity like this again, as we get the three grinning giants, who seem really excited of possibly maybe fighting Drake, or just smiling just because. Either way, they benefit or something. But anyway, we cut to like the inside castle of the first to second floor stairs, where we see Usopp Nami running down with Speed, Tama, Gazer. Hold on, let me just find Gazerman, Speed, Daifuku, and I believe Hamlet, the giraffe, are carrying Komachio, yeah, I think. Let's see, Komachio. Yep, the giant dog that Tama has as a pet and all that stuff. As Hamlet's carrying, Komachio and all that stuff. As they're trying to reach before the castle, Ritzy gets to fire. However, Usopp and Nami hear someone screaming, and they see the legs of someone screaming and panicking about seeing the legs of a monster. With the legs saying, "Whoever you are, save me!" With Usopp and Nami realizing that it's Kimemon's legs, as Usopp tries to grab on and tries to get him to calm down, asking what's wrong with Kimemon, but Kimemon can't tell who it is, friend or foe. As Usopp tries to explain it's him, but he can't. But as he notices that Kimemon is bleeding quite a bit, so yeah. Let's see, and then Nami pointing out that Kimemon can't hear him since it's his legs and all that stuff. So the best way Nami ends up just tickling Chemo's leggings and realize that, let's see, notice the trace of the Crescent Moon Rebellion, so they assume he's a comrade, so he ends up telling them something. Well, we don't quite hear what he says, though, judging from Usopp's reaction, and he tells the others that he's going to borrow Hamlet and tells them to take care of Tama. Let's see. As he takes Chemo with him and leggings of Chemo with him and try and find, let's see, a ladder to the crawl space in the left tower. Let's see, as he's saying his friend is barely standing and needs urgent help, as we see that, let's see, from the wounded battle, that Kikaku is still alive and all that stuff. You're just slightly breathing, so with Kimino thinking to himself that hang on a bit longer, I've got a friend to, like, let's see, come and save us and all that stuff. I still finds it hard to believe that he's still alive with his torso being severed. As it's revealed that apparently Law, well, cut him in two, perhaps never properly attached him again and all that stuff, since, well, Law did slice him up into 3 pieces, at least 3 pieces, I recall, and well, the head is also the head was a lot more pieces in Punkheads and all that stuff. But regardless, he seems to be thankful for this miracle as it allows him to try and find someone to save Kiku's life. But anyway, he has contacted with like Orochi saying trying to get answers to like Kanjuro and all that stuff, which Kimio noticed though, granted. He's wondering why he's still alive since him and the other scabbards beheaded him. And he comments that Kanjuro's already dead and all that stuff, but it's revealed that Kanjuro is also alive, and as he responds to Lord Orochi's command. With Orochi not seeing that he's about to die, it sounds like he's on death's doors. As he talks about its curtains are closing and all that stuff. As well, Orochi compliments him on a splendid act, but before he can finish his show and all that stuff, there's still an audience that they need to take care of and all that stuff. So he tells them that their ancestors need one last sort of proper physiological encore, and that Kanjuro must give it to them by releasing the burning hatred of the Kasumi clan, as they must be the true victors. As Kanjuro starts painting something, telling him to create an entire giant fire monster to engulf the holes of the castle and stuff. Until it burns out everything from the very bottom of this island and all that stuff. Telling them that only then can the souls of their clan can rest once everything has been burnt down and stuff. As Kanjuro heeds his command and performs his final dance for the glorious death of his clan and all that stuff, as he creates a creature called Kanzabo, a giant fire monster that consumes everything as we see it burn a bunch of the beast pirates. So as they say, don't touch it or you'll catch on fire, with them wondering what this monster is. As soon as this monster has appeared, then we get the beast pirates start to report that apparently there's an enormous frequent apparition that has appeared on the 2nd floor of the castle. As we see Momonosuke quickly trying to create all these little clouds bit by bit to try and stop Onigashima falling on the capital. As the report goes on about how the creature can pass through walls and gliding like it's some kind of ghost, if you will. So it's like a flame ghost. I'm sure there's some sort of Japanese mythology thing behind this, but I wouldn't know. As we cut to a few scenes of people celebrating at the capital. Anyway, as someone reports about how the castle is now a sea of flames. Anyway, we cut to Brock and Robin trying to leave and trying to avoid fighting. While at the same time, we see 2 members of CP0, the leader and the one with the holding mask kind of thing, following and clearly going after Robin because that was their orders and all that stuff. As we see panels of Marco, Izo, and Karamatsu fighting, followed by scenes of Sanji versus Queen, Zoro versus King, and Luffy versus Kaido. As someone was saying about how allies of the Kosuki, emperors of the sea, all who put on airs will be brought low. As I think as we realize this is Orochi talking, as he seems to be relaxing in some sort of safe room and all that stuff, picking his nose. The scumbag he is. Though with Orochi talking about saying Kaido, I hope you don't realize that, but you've got like Kaido feeling sorry. With him saying to Kaido, even though Kaido's not really here, that he knows about the armory and all that stuff beneath the castle where all those weapons he made for him and all that stuff says. He tells Kaido as he's going on about how he wants Kanjuro to go and light them all up and blow this island to Kingdom Come. As he's wondering where Fukurochi is, and telling him to try and come and get here so they can escape and all that stuff, as this pirate war does not concern him and all that stuff, as Kaido betrayed him and all that stuff. So, yeah, so it is very curious to see where the fight between Fukurochi and, Raizo is right now. But, yeah, so I'm sure we'll probably get some more details on it soon. But, yeah. Anyway, we see some Beast pirates noticing Yamato in her dog form as she knocks him out of the way, as she's trying to desperately head to the bottom of the armory basement and hope she can make it in time, as he hopes that Momonosuke can, slow the island's descent and all that stuff. But yeah, anyway, just as she's walking up to to a building, she notices how she sees the attack of Big Mom's Ikotfona sovereignty and all that stuff. Ikoku sovereignty, yeah. As we see Beast Pirates being shocked, and it seems like Killer's Punk Gibbon, or at least his giant metal warrior thing, has been knocked out by the Enforce and all that stuff. As we see Big Mom riding on Prometheus with her lightning sword and all that stuff. With Big Mom saying, let's start with Kid and all that stuff, as she's just about to try and slice at Kid. However, Kid is thinking back to a bit of a conversation he had with Law about how whether or not his powers have awakened, and Law reveals that they have, but they're still not used to it. And he'll do it if he's on his last leg, but he says that the stamina and the consumption of it is extreme, and it shows that he'll be knocked out afterwards or be out of the battle afterwards and all that stuff. Which he says is the same for him, but they're getting nowhere like this, so he tells him Law to use his last resort to back him up, as Law uses a new sort of room called Kroom, and uses it and adds it to his sword and calls it Amphicyphia, then jumps down and stabs Big Mom behind the neck, going through her chin, the sword does. For the first time ever, we see Big Mom being pierced by a blade. Though the penetration does nothing on its own, and instead Kroom creates a shockwave that's from within and all that stuff, as he uses a move called Shock Willy, and Big Mom is being damaged on the inside, that we see blood and smoke coming out from her mouth and all that stuff, which shocks the homies and all that stuff. Big Mom really mad now, saying that Law has now done it, as she's about to try and attack him. However, Kid goes up to Mom and tells her to have some magnetism, as he uses a move is his awakened ability called Assign, which instead of him just drawing metal to him, whoever he touches, becomes magnetized, as Napoleon ends up getting stuck to Big Mom, with her realizing she's turned into some sort of magnet, and all the Beast Pirates' weapons are flying towards her. And even the tower beams made of metal are heading right towards Big Mom as well. As Big Mom's realizing what's going on, with Kid telling Law to get him out of here, though. Let's see, Law, like us with Luffy, says, "Don't tell me what to do." Though Stu does it anyway. As Kid uses a move, adds with his magnet move called Punk Clash, as all the metal beams hit at Big Mom, apparently damaging as all the beast pirates run away, while Law and Kitty in the air, ending the chapter. Okay, first off, for the most part, I like this chapter, though. Let's see, this chapter has also revealed something that is quite, a common criticism of One Piece, so I'll get more into it in a bit, but yeah, so for the most part, it's a good chapter, though there are some things that disappoint me, but I shouldn't really be surprised given One Piece's track record when it comes to the subject of death. But let's see, but yeah. Anyway, I do like how it's very interesting the fact that we learned that Appo, has figured out that Drake is a spy for the Marines, but he doesn't really care about that. Instead, offers to team up with him to take down Kaido and the Alliance, whoever ends up beating. As he says, why not let Luffy and his allies against Kaido and his allies battle each other out, weaken them both out and all that stuff, and the winner and whoever wins will be too tired, and then we take them out for the easy pickings and all that stuff, showing that Appo doesn't really have any true loyalty to Kaido and all that stuff. So showing that and he's willing to double cross him when the situation calls for it, and he decides that, you know what, Drake might be my best opportunity to get an ally here, since he's technically neither loyal to Luffy nor to Kaido because he's a Marine, and Marines shouldn't really trust pirates, though, as Drake points out, why would I help you? Because he's given his own treacherous nature. Though I do like how Appo points back that, yeah, you were a spy, mate. And he has like these 3 ancient giants, the 3 remaining ones out of the 10 numbers in all your world. Saki, Fugi, and Imbi. I can't recall which numbers they are and all that stuff, but if I recall, if I type in numbers for One Piece, I could probably find out. Numbers, so Imbi, Fugi, and Zanki, which I believe are supposed to be based on they're the first 3 of the ancient Zonin giants and all that stuff. So yeah, so I can see why. Let's see, for some reason, it's interesting to find that Appo seems to have this great control over like these ancient giants. I mean, we saw it before, but he seems to have such a sway over them that he's able to get them to betray Kaido if the situation calls for it. So, yeah. It's interesting because I think before the last 2 chapters, many people thought Hawkins would be the, worst generation member to betray Kaido, but he ended up staying loyal, even though he didn't want to do that in the end, and he dared not question the cards until it was too late and all that stuff. While Appo clearly is just like a, just treacherous pirate all around. So, yeah. So he betrayed like Kid and Hawkins, and he's willing to betray Kaido. The situation calls it. The only question is to see whether or not Drake will actually take him up on his offer, because, well, on one hand, he has a mission of taking down Kaido, and he'll do whatever it does to take that, and he'll probably do whatever it takes to get it down, which is why he teamed up with Luffy. But I wonder if he would be tempted to like team up with Appo afterwards, because it means that, he can take down like 3 members of the worst, 5 members of the worst generation, who will probably take over Kaido and Big Mom's place as like new Yonko level pirates with their right-hand men and all that stuff. So who knows, though? I have a feeling that Drake will probably be a bit more honor-bound, and probably, given influence from Kobe, probably would be more willing to trust Luffy, as Luffy isn't, as Luffy isn't really as Luffy is someone you could probably count on, and he probably doesn't think that Luffy would be as destructive as Kaido and Big Mom, nor is he as untrustworthy as Appo and all that stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, but that's the status of the fight between these two. It seems to be at a stalemate right now, as Appo is trying to negotiate a team up. Anyway, let's see now to probably the most probably what's going to be regarded as the most controversial part of this chapter. But I do like how we've got Hamlet carrying Kishiro. Let's see, so a bit of progress in this, but it seems that we found out what's going to happen with Usopp and Nami, or at least Usopp at the very least. After Page 1 and Uchi have been defeated, as they discover that Kimo's legs have still been disattached from Law. So yeah, this is so it's revealed that this chapter that Kimimon, Kanjuro, and Kikaku are still alive despite their gravely heavy wounds inflicted upon each other and Kaido and all that stuff. So yeah, so people so there are probably certain sections of One Piece fans are not happy that, oh my god, Oda has copped out from killing off characters again every single time, Oda. So it's like, let's see. So yeah, I'm not entirely 100% on board of them still being alive, but if they are going to end up being, let's see if Oda's going to kill them off in the future. It's like, really, what's the point now? Because you keeping them alive and all that stuff. So yeah. So once again, the common criticism of One Piece not killing off characters in the flashback, even though they probably should be dead, is still alive. Though granted, it's probably going to be a bit frustrating for some people for Wano, since, well, we've already seen a character die in the modern timeline with Lord Yashi and all that stuff. So it's like, why not the Red Scabbards? Though granted, I'm still under the impression that Kimimon will at least see his wife in a grown-up Momonosuke before he dies. I could be wrong. But at the very least, with Kimimon, I suppose, well, this is a bit of a stretch, but at least we got an explanation that Law's room detachment cutting seems to have saved his life a bit and allowed him to find help to rescue Kiku and all that stuff. So I suppose it's an explanation as to why he's still alive, compared to like last times Oda has had characters seemingly die only to turn out, hey, they're still alive and all that stuff. So there's that. Granted, I don't know what Kikaku can do, but let's see, all power to her, I guess. So who knows? I suppose, let's see, we'll probably find something for the Scabbards to do, but yeah. But anyway, the one character that's still alive, that still has, for the most part, a major purpose, is Kanjuro. As Orochi, as we revealed that a few chapters ago, back when Jack and Pespero were defeated, that he's still alive, has given, I like how he's given Kanjuro one last finale to do and all that stuff. Let's see, you've done well, praising him for his performance as he knows he's about to die. And I do like how Kanjuro says, thank you for your words of comfort, as he feels like he can now die in peace. But I like how Orochi says, you still have one last job, one grand finale of flames, as he orders him to create a giant flame monster to burn everything and go to the armory and blow everything up and all that stuff. As Orochi knows the explosions and all that stuff. So I do like how, besides setting the whole cast on fire, Orochi knows about the bombs and all that stuff. It's like, let's cause one grand explosion, killing all these pirates and that stuff, while I'm not sure, either talking to himself or ordering Fukurochi to come and pick him up so he can escape and live and all that stuff. And this fire will be one last big explosion for killing off his enemies with like the let's see, Kozuki clan and their allies with the Straw Hat Pirates and all that stuff, while also killing the Met Pirate who betrayed him, and there's any of the samurai and ninja who also double-crossed him there, blowing them all up to smithereens. Now, whether or not that would actually kill Kaido or not, I'm not sure, but at the very least, probably everyone else there would probably bite the dust. Well, besides maybe Big Mom, but well, granted, that might not be the case ever. That's right now. I mean, that might not be the case. That's it. Well, granted, that might not be the case with Big Mom surviving, given what's happened to her this chapter. But yeah, at the very least, I do like how, let's see, this chapter has at the very least given Usopp another purpose for this arc besides supporting Nami in her fight against Ulti, and that's to try and rescue Kikaku and Kimimon. And who knows, perhaps maybe Usopp will get someone else to fight, but I perhaps maybe shouldn't get my hopes up too much because I think Oda's pretty much close to wrapping up and all that stuff, all these fights, but yeah. Anyway, I do like how we're seeing Momosuke trying to just do his piece bit by bit as he's really desperate and all that stuff. I do like that we're finally seeing the CP0 agents there starting to make the move of trying to capture Nico, Robin, and Brock as they're trying to get to the main bit, trying to escape the fire and all that stuff. So it looks like Robin and Brock have got a round two, have got a second matchup in Onigashima with the CP0. It'll be interesting that we finally get to see their moves. Granted, I'm still convinced that Robin will not be kidnapped, as I don't think Oda wants to repeat NS Lobby again and all that stuff. But yeah, but it might be that we get CP0 fighting a few people. But yeah, anyway, nice seeing panels of like Marco, Izo, and Karamatsu fighting Beast Pirates. And a little update to show us that, yeah, Zoro of like the Monster Tree are still fighting their respective All-Stars or Yonko in the case of Luffy. So that's nice so I assume that, yeah, nice to the confirmation that they're still fighting. Now, I do like how we see Yamato in her dog form taking out Beast Pirates pretty easily as she's trying to head to the capital. But yeah. Now, this is now to the main highlight of what is happening is the fact that we've got like I'm glad that Kid and Law have awakened their devil fruit abilities as I think them getting like Conqueror's Haki on Luffy's level, I think at this point would be too much of ridiculous, and that okay, now we see how they can beat Big Mom as they have awakened devil fruit abilities and all that stuff. They have the awakened powers such as like Doflamingo. Katakuri, and in non-canon movies of like that gold dude, which I have not seen the One Piece gold film, and Bullet from Stampede, which I have seen. So yeah. So I do like they've got their awakened abilities, and we've revealed that the reason why they don't use them all that much is because they can barely use them, and if they use them, it drains up a lot of stamina and that stuff, which is my guess is Oda's way of giving a weakness as to why these devil fruit abilities have not been used before. But yeah. So it's nice so he's put some limits on, though I granted if Kid and Law continue in the story afterwards, I assume that their awakened abilities will last much longer and all that stuff. But yeah. But anyway, time to get but yeah, I do like how Law's awakened ability allows her to damage Big Mom on the inside and allows his sword to pierce inside her and then cause a shockwave inside her, causing an explosion, showing that Big Mom can be damaged, which goes to show you that which probably shows you that Big Mom, while invincible on the outside, is not the case on the inside with all her organs and body parts, and she can be easily damaged on the inside if you can do an attack that does her. As we saw Law given the first ever piercing to her throughout the entire series, though granted, he did able to damage her before, but yeah. But it's seen here, but as we see, Law is one of the few people that can actually damage her, but we've also got like I do like how Kid's awakened ability is instead of drawing metal to him, he can touch someone and draw metal to them and all that stuff. As even affects Napoleon, and is able to like get all these ritzy iron beams and beast pirate weapons come crashing into her and all that stuff. Now, whether or not that has done any actual damage to her has remained to be seen, as the chapter just ends with her being all hit by all these giant pillars and all that stuff called a move called Punk Clash and all that stuff. Granted, I don't think Big Mom's going to be taken out just yet, but let's see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. But it's also interesting that these two awakened abilities are not like the awakened abilities of Doflamingo, Katakuri, and the two movie villains I mentioned earlier, where whatever they touch turns to material. But let's see, that's not necessarily the case with like Law and Kid, since their abilities aren't really like they turn their bodies into like into substance, and rather that their paramecia types as rather, let's see, affects the areas around them really, rather than their own bodies and all that stuff. So yeah, so shows us some new unique types of awakened abilities and all that stuff. So yeah. Overall, yeah. Overall, I'll give this chapter a 8 out of 10. I mean, it's nice to see Law and Kid's awakened abilities and them able to damage Big Mom. And let's see, our proposing alliance with Drake, with like the 3 ancient giants that he has and all that stuff to take down. That once one side has been beaten, they'll take down the other that's already wounded. CP0 making their move to try and capture Robin. But I'm a bit mixed on like Kimon, Kikoku, and Conjuro still not biting the dust, though it has been. And let's see, I think as I probably said in previous reviews, it remains unknown if whether or not these two are like these 3 are dead or alive. Now, granted, the only one that now remains fate is uncertain is Ashura Dojin. Though who knows what his fate will be. But yeah. But they're alive, but at the very least, it allows Usopp to go and do something as she tries to rescue Kikoku and Kimimon. Or Conjuro has summoned one giant flame thing to, let's see, destroy the castle and blow it up when it gets the bombs under Orochi's orders and all that stuff. Now, it'll be very interesting to where these bombs go. Granted, I think I watched Grand Line reviews chapter of like review of the chapter the other day, and he thinks that those bombs might be used to magnetize to Big Mom, which would be quite interesting if he ends up being correct on that theory, but at least like the suggestion at least. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed the chapter, but it would probably be very controversial for some people. Some might say this is the worst chapter of One Piece of the year and all that stuff, but at the very least it is the most controversial. But yeah, so it's like an 8 out of 10 for me, though I suppose a perhaps more harsher critic might make it 7. But yeah, overall, I still enjoyed the chapter. So Kid and Law have their own sort of power-ups with their awakened abilities, though. No, not the length of like level of Katakuri and Doflamingo, but clearly enough to damage Big Mom and possibly beat her. Though I assume that we're probably going to get at least 1 or 2 more chapters of Big Mom's fight, though whether or not it'll be straight away or next time, we'll have to find out at the end of this week. Overall, I am Blue Star Saber signing off, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.